Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to New Cities. I certainly hope you're having a fantastic day whenever and wherever you happen to be, because I am excited. I am excited to be back. I'm excited to be in Dorksville, or whatever we're calling it. I've honestly completely forgotten. It's been like a week since I played this. I've been reading YouTube comments. I have been taking in some of your feedback. And I just want to clarify, I record a lot of my videos like a week before they go out. I don't ignore YouTube comments, it just takes time to get around to it. And the reason I do that is for my health, essentially. I have a bit of an obsessive tendency with my work where I will sit for 16 hours at a time recording videos day after day after day. So even doing that, I wouldn't get to comments right away. Well, in some cases I would, because I'd be recording an episode the same day it goes out, which I don't like doing either. So just, I get it's frustrating to see me making mistakes, but I also want to point out this game has not existed for that long. All right, it's still a relatively new game. So if I make a mistake and it frustrates you, I will get around to fixing it. Like, I will, and I will get around to responding to the comments. It might not be immediate, but I will do it. I almost always do. It just takes a little bit. So I just needed to get that off my chest, because today, what you might imagine I'm talking about is the factory problem. I have read the comments, and you've all said that they need to be placed closer to people, so I'm happy to do that. 100% happy to do that. I didn't know that when I first placed them. I mean, like I said, it's been like a week since I played this, and the game's not been around that long, so I'm far from an expert. But I do appreciate the feedback, because I wouldn't have known that without you guys commenting, telling me that. So thank you for letting me know. Just, it takes a minute, all right? I needed to get that off my chest. I explain this, I feel, somewhat regularly, and it's a little frustrating, but I know it's frustrating as a viewer, but I guess the one takeaway is, if you see me make a mistake, that's, I guess, a lesson to not do in your game, is a way to look at it. I don't know. I'm trying to, I don't want to come across as really patronizing or anything like that. I don't want to come across as like a teacher telling off a class of students, because in this instance, the class of students greatly outnumbers the teacher. And, you know, I don't want to come across that. Genuinely, it is for my health. That's why I record the way I do, because I do get obsessive, and I know that I will be really, I've been really unhealthy with my recording habits in the past, so that is genuinely why. With that said, let's pause the game. Let's put some factories into this new space. I have done a little bit of testing, and this should be close enough to actually work. I do want to clear out those bits though, because we'll just do these lower bits first. So this should absolutely work in this space, and we should get some factories actually building. And what we'll do is we'll use some parks to, there we go. So they're actually building. So again, you guys are completely right. You are completely right. They do need to be closer to people. They are obviously going to cause a bit of pollution, which is not quite ideal, but we'll deal with it. And I'm actually thinking that a little bit of retail along here might be a good way to sort of hide those factories from those main roads. That might genuinely be what we do there, to try and just hide those a little bit. So just a little something like that to surround the factories. And then I'm thinking down here as well. Although it'll never fit. We'll never get retail in those bits. Let's not do that. We'll do some parks and stuff like that in those areas to try and just get rid of some of that pollution. But that's factories. That's those actually building, which is fantastic. That's something we didn't have before. So that is really, really cool. If we have a look at our overlay, I mean, immediately that has become sort of the biggest polluting area that we have. So let's go into here. Let's have a little look at parks. Let's maybe go for, I think we're going to try a small park just to start with and see what that kind of does to the area. I imagine the pollution is still going to be pretty high. I don't know if we want to put like a ballpark in there, but I'm going to try and see if that does anything for pollution. It did put a little bit of a dent in it there, didn't it? So let's do a ballpark. I want to say like in here. and see what that does for us. Again, it keeps it at bay a little bit. So we'll do a ballpark in here as well, try and keep the pollution at bay. And we're going to try and stop that pollution from coming south is what we're going to do. We'll let the factories be there. You know, we'll let them do their thing. Manufacturing and all that, very important. But I want to try and stop that pollution from drifting southwards towards everything else that we have in here. That's going to be my plan right there. I'm also going to be honest, I think the only goal I have in mind right now is getting 200,000 people. I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. So at some point, we need to stop that pollution drifting north as well, because having a look at it, I mean, I'm going to want to put some people in there. So, I mean, maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's our focus for the time being, is we'll go ahead and do, you know, an avenue like this and an avenue like this. Then up to here and up to here. We can just do some basic grids in there, nothing too fancy. We'll get some people living in there, and everything should be okay. I think what I will do, though, is put a little bit of an avenue there. And I want to do a little bit of an avenue there. And that's going to be sort of a marker for where we don't go, necessarily, in terms of zoning. We don't go lower than that avenue. I could put one in the middle here as well. I'm not going to bother doing that. So I think what we'll do is essentially go like, let's see here. Let's do an avenue. You know what? We'll just run these. We'll run these straight up a little bit. I'm not really sure what kind of zoning to do. Run that straight up to there. Run that straight up to there. Not really sure what kind of zoning that's going to do. But I'm a little bit curious, so we'll just run those up to there as well, and run you up to about there. So we'll do that. That should be fine. Nothing too crazy. And essentially on those roads, we're just going to go in and place a whole bunch of residential zoning. And then I need to put some ballparks in those little gaps at the bottom and all that kind of stuff. And essentially keep the pollution from getting up to the residential areas. That's kind of the goal here. So we'll let them build up. We'll see what they can do. I don't know if I necessarily needed to leave the same kind of size of gap there that I've done. I don't think I actually did. I'm pretty sure I can just do this, and I can just do this. And I think we are just going to do that. We're going to be a little bit cheeky. We're just going to, you know, fill in these areas completely, and we'll just let them sort of do their thing, basically. Just build up, be nice and dense, get that population up a little bit, and hopefully get workers into the factories. So we'll do the same over here, and we'll just go up to all of those top spots like so. We'll actually pause the game while I do this, just so the dots stay in a place where I can see them, and that'll be, I think, decent enough. We could connect an avenue there. I'm not really gonna bother. I don't think we need to. We just need to figure out what these middle spaces are going to be, and what I'm thinking for those is we go in with an avenue, we put the avenue here, and I think we go and we do a road here, and we just connect like this sort of around the whole thing. So again, it's in line with where we don't want to go, you know, we don't want to fill in this space at all, but that just makes it a little bit more interesting, gives something, you know, a little bit of character to the area, you know? That's essentially the way I look at it. Honestly, that's kind of the way I look at a lot of things in city builders these days. I know I haven't done any city skylines on YouTube recently, but I've been doing a lot of it on the live stream, which, by the way, if you are interested in watching that, City Skylines is every Monday and Wednesday at noon GMT on mixer.com/ConflictNerd. Just by the way, just in case you were curious, that is the way that's done. But I've been playing that a lot on the live stream, and I've been doing a lot of things that are just sort of for character. And that's a really vague term, right? That doesn't mean anything really. But I just want stuff that like looks a bit weird. Like this just has a bit of character to it, you know? It's not just it's a grid. Don't get me wrong, it barely has any character to it. It is just a grid. But it has a little bit, you know? It's a little bit different. And I'm also hoping that this will, you know, nicely boost the population. Also, there isn't supposed to be zoning in there. That was a mistake. Whoops, that's not supposed to be there at all, actually. That was the wrong part that I did that bit of building in. Alrighty, we'll just take that all out. We'll just go to our zoning and take you out as well. And we'll just head over here and fix that little bit of an issue there. So you go to that spot, and then we'll just do the same old thing, kind of going down to about there, going across, and going up. And again, we'll just fill all this space in with plain old residential. We're trying to get 200,000 people. We're trying to see, what else we can unlock. And I'm pretty sure there is stuff we can unlock with factories when they get to certain levels and stuff like that. So hopefully the residential zoning in here will go a long way to helping with that as well. And I'm also realizing we do have a bit more space for commercial zoning in there. We can totally zone it on that side of those roads. Although I'm going to put ballparks and stuff in there in a second, so that might not be the most useful thing to do, but whatever. We'll throw a ballpark in that corner. Oh my god, that pollution is pretty bad. We'll throw a ballpark in that corner. We'll get one right at the bottom of that bit and that bit. And then we'll throw one into that corner and that corner. And let's see if that helps clear up that pollution. It does. Oh my god, it does. Okay. Yeah. That I imagine that's gonna get nerfed at some point in the game. I have to imagine that's gonna get like seriously nerfed at some point in this game's lifetime, because that's crazy good at dealing with pollution. Okay. I mean, fair enough. It does say that it gets rid of pollution, but wow, that's actually kind of incredible. All right, well, I mean, I'm kind of happy with this. We have a little bit of demand for agriculture and a little bit of demand for factories still. So I'm wondering if we were to go and do this, can we fill in those areas with a little bit of factory zoning as well? I mean, I did see a little one building down there, so for sure we can. In terms of agriculture, I mean, it's kind of hard to look at this and see if we have any zoning left. I'm not gonna lie, although we have little bits here and there. I think it's probably just gonna need expanded, to tell you the truth, but that's all right. I do want to take a look at density, though. So, density-wise, we're doing all right. Like, we're getting some bigger and bigger stores in here. We have got these units of, like, multi-use zoning. What do you call it? This one right here. Zone for mixed use. That's one. Residential and retail. So, we do have that. And that is a thing that is slowly building up. But, I don't know. This area up here, good news is it's actually building up. And I'm thinking, actually, it probably needs some services. So, value is actually pretty good up here. So, we'll start seeing some good things there, I think. Value is also really good in a lot of these areas. So, let's take a look. Prosperity, pretty good in the middle here. If we have a look at issues, though, we are seeing a lot of needs customers at the minute. So hopefully we can do something about that. There's a lot of needs customers, so I think residential is going to be the big focus for the time being. Having a look at crime, though, there's pockets of it for sure. It's definitely pretty bad up there, so let's keep crime just, how do we pin it for a second? I think that's how we do it. We'll keep it pinned for a second. We'll go in here. We'll go to police station. And it doesn't actually have like a radius or anything, but we'll just throw one right there. And we should see crime in that area, yeah, get reduced kind of nicely. It's not perfect, but it's definitely reduced it quite a bit. We'll throw a police station right there as well. And I'm looking at this area and thinking, you know what? Let's do a police station right in there to try and clear up that bit of crime. And then down here by the university, honestly, I think we're going to do a police station as well. Which is quite a nice area, to be fair. But we'll do one right there. And that looks like it'll hopefully clear up that pocket of crime as well. So crime up here is pretty much gone. It's not completely gone, but that's all right. What else have we got? Education. So education is pretty well spread across the city right now. We don't have anyone that's college educated necessarily. But we have people that are getting, they are getting an education. We don't have anything to give them an education up here, though, so let's go ahead and do that. A success center. Does it have to be? It has to be near the university. We're going to be looking for... What are we looking for? We're looking for libraries and we're looking for schools. So let's throw a little library, let's say right there, to try and boost the education in that neighborhood. And we'll do a little library right there as well. And I think we will do some schools too by the ballparks so that they can get a little bit of education in there too. So that should boost things really nicely in there. I'm honestly not sure exactly how education works, but it's all right. And social services, what does that do? More community as well. Is there a community overlay? Not really. There's a prosperity one though. So prosperity measures the economic activity of an area. Economic stress, such as unemployment, reduces the prosperity and can lead to the neighborhood being abandoned. Land value measures the desirability of an area. High land value areas are likely to densify. Interesting that our most dense area does not have high land value. That's fair enough. Let's go in with, so this needs to be in a denser area. Fair enough. So this can generally only really go down here, which is whatever. We'll throw this building there. I know we already have one somewhere, but we'll throw one in there as well, just to try and boost the area a little bit. And then I guess it's kind of a waiting game in the minute, isn't it? We can turn off our overlay. We don't need that pinned anymore. But it is a little bit of a waiting game to make sure everything builds and densifies. Although we do still have a lot of demand for residential zoning. So, I mean, we could look at these areas down here and start trying to fill those in. We could look at this one over here. And I think that is what we're going to do because I don't really want to keep expanding up that way. If I'm totally honest, I didn't really plan on doing super high density up here, especially with factories right in the middle of it. That's definitely not part of my plan. Actually, what about factories out here? We could make like a sort of dock type area. That could be kind of cool. I mean, it's not actually going to be a dock, but that could be kind of cool. I think we'll do that. We'll do factories out there. We'll put a bunch of ballparks to counter the pollution, and then we'll do, I guess, a bunch of residential zoning done around the coast on the south end of things. So let's just wait for the dots to come back so that I can go ahead and actually, you know, see what I'm doing. And then we can, they don't even come back when I rotate, man. I was hoping they would. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wait for those to come back so we can see what we're doing. Then we'll just throw in a bunch of roads and hope for the best there. That is looking pretty decent. Let's pause the game and go from there. So, I'm thinking we're going to use, have we got a boulevard connection we could use? We have this one down here. So, let's go to there. That's going to be a nightmare intersection, but we're going to do it. And we're going to go to about there. And then we're going to switch to avenues because I want this to come out. I want this to go up to there. And I'm basically going to do sort of just a core for all of this. So I want that to go to there and that to go to there, right? So that's our core set of roads for everything we're going to do here. And then essentially off of that, I want to go as close to the water as I possibly can for where the factories are going to go. So something a bit like that. This one, I mean, unfortunately, it's probably not going to go in a great location. That can't really go there. That one can go to there, so I am going to do that and then bulldoze that little stretch of road. This guy can go out to the water line. This guy can sort of go out to the water line. Not very far, but that's okay. You can sort of go out to the water line. You can go out a little bit. And basically, this is kind of the pattern that I want to do for just where the factories are going to go. We're going to have them go sort of close to the water line is the idea. And I guess in this situation, we can have this avenue connect straight through to, or not straight through to there, straight through to there. There we go. And that'll give us a connection to everything. And I guess we can put ballparks in there or something like that. A bit residential, not residential, sorry, bit of commercial and all that kind of stuff. So let's do a couple of little roads there where we can do that commercial zoning. And then let's do, I guess some roads can come off of here as well. I guess it wouldn't really hurt. Although I'm thinking as well, we should probably do that to really make sure that the area can get filled up nicely. So we'll do that kind of thing for that space. Down here, I want to go like this, and I want to go like this. And we'll bring these roads sort of in themselves a little bit too. And then I guess at this corner, we could sort of do this kind of thing. Again, it's a bit of a weird space, but it does, you know, leave a nice gap there where we can put ballparks and we can make sure that this area is going to be, you know, nicely bordered, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Nicely bordered from the industry. So something like that as well. I like that a lot. In fact, I want to just get rid of you and do that kind of thing again, because it just looks kind of cool. I like that. I think that'll be pretty solid. So we can put ballparks in that space. We can actually go ahead and do that like ahead of time. So a ballpark could go actually right in there is perfect. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a couple of ballparks in there. We're going to put a couple of small parks just in that corner and in that corner and I guess that corner. And I guess we will do residential in these spaces is what we'll do. That way we can go ahead and border like down here with some commercial. So again, we have that same, you know, buffer between the factories and the residential. We have that commercial buffer. Even though commercial's not really building right now, but you know, when it does, it'll be fantastic is what it'll be. I also realize I've completely forgotten about the cul-de-sac zoning thing. So we need to go back up to here and zone at the end of the cul-de-sacs there. Totally forgot to do that. So just all of you guys can get a little bit of zoning as well. All right. So again, residential should be buffered pretty well by the ballparks. And we'll just go in and say all of these roads in here are going to have factories on them, including the ends of the little roads and all that stuff as well. And we'll see how it zones. You know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's whatever. It is close enough though that I think it will at least try to build. So we'll do that kind of thing there. And I guess what we'll do is commercial in those spots as well, and commercial down here too, so that we can go ahead and do factories there. And I'm thinking this space in the middle, honestly, could be factories too. So do this, do that, and do, I don't know, this kind of thing, I suppose could work for more factories. Then over here, we could do something a bit like that. I don't know if I'm giving them enough space, to be totally honest, but it'll be okay. We can, you know, experiment a little bit. So there we go. Let's let that build. We've got factories going in already. We've got residential going in already. I kind of want to have a little look at the pollution overlay just to make sure everything's okay, which thus far sort of is. So that's good. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Okay. How did this happen? How did this happen? We have got ballparks in there, right? That is a thing. Well, actually, in saying that, not really. And the zoning down here is mixed, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do like a ballpark there and say there. Oh, wow, that just completely disappeared. I think that might have been a bug, honestly. I have a feeling that was more of a bug than anything else. Let's see what a ballpark in there does as well. It just cuts a massive hole in it. That's perfect. All right. A lot of factories popping up down here, which is beautiful. This area has already built up as well, which is also beautiful. We have 75,000 people to go until we get to 200,000. So this is good. You know, I do think this is good having the factories in here. So we'll let those build up. We'll let them do their thing. And I guess what we're going to do is figure out what way we're going to do roads sort of around this coastline. And to be honest, I think we're just going to do similar to what we did over here, where we have this road that just sort of follows the coastline a little bit. So let's come out from here and let's see what kind of angle we can do in that bit. So we can do this. I do think this should sort of extend out that way a little, and then maybe extend sort of back this way a little bit, and then maybe back in. I don't really know what the best way to do this would be, actually. That's a pretty good straight line, so that'll do the job. Can I come straight down here? Not really. What if I extend to there and then continue? No. So that's not going to be an option. That's fine. So it straightens out a little bit, and then I think we're going to have it sort of curve this way. Oh, that's not going to work at all, actually. What if we do that and then bulldoze this bit and then go back in with an angle there? Does so that works. That's not ideal, but big old beach there, so that's fine. This can probably just come straight over a little bit and then maybe angle up to there. And then continue straight over as well. I'm not really sure where I want to connect this. I don't know if I want to connect it there. I guess I do. I guess that works. This area, I don't think this area is going to be zoned with much. Or maybe it will. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But this is a decent sized area to start with. Looking at it, honestly, we could do that as well, which is not a bad idea. And then maybe just turn that into an avenue rather than a boulevard. I think that works, though. It keeps it relatively simple. We can go ahead and bring this avenue out to, I was going to say out to there, but I don't think it's actually going to let me, which is a bit of a pain, not going to lie. So why can't I do that? So I could place a road there, but I can't intersect it, apparently. All right, well, fair enough. I mean, I guess we could just do that and that. I'm sure that's fun for traffic. I don't really want to do that. I'm not gonna lie. Not really a huge fan of that. So maybe this curve gets done slightly differently, or maybe it isn't a curve. Maybe we just do a boulevard straight up like that, and then we could do some little, like, I don't know, little avenue, say there, and a little avenue, say, I don't know, here. No, anywhere. We'll figure it out. We can do like this, right? Do a little bit of zoning in there. Something like that. Turn that road into that. Bring you out and bring you there. So we can get zoning there, like, on the beach, right? That'll be fine. It's just the rest of it that I need to figure out. That's the other tricky part here. So we'll bring that road out. We'll bring that road out. We'll bring that one out. And we'll bring that one out. And I think these are all just going to, like, look back on themselves is what they're going to do. Because I kind of like the look of that. I really like how... where is it? This area here. I like that a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think it looks kind of cool. So we'll have these sort of loop back in themselves is what they'll do. And I also kind of want them to, I almost want them to follow the angle of the road, which actually isn't really going to be an option there. So let's not do that. Just have them sort of do that kind of thing. Just boring old straight lines, I guess, is fair enough. And then this one can actually, like, loop again, which is maybe a bit much. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe that one just comes straight out like this. So again, sort of boring old loop there, which I guess is fine. Although I'm curious, if I delete those and do that, no, that doesn't run parallel to the boulevard either. That's fine. That's totally fine. As for these areas down here, I think what we'll do is bring an avenue straight off of there if we can, which that looks to be in a straight line, so that's good. So that cuts straight through, and then here could probably be an avenue too. And then I guess these are just going to be sort of chunks of zoning as well. Nothing too fancy. It's kind of weird. Like part of me sitting here like, oh my god, grids, man, they're not the most exciting thing to build, but I mean, you can't do curved roads in new cities for one. I mean, you can try, but you can't really do them. And I mean, grids are kind of the efficient way to do things. You know, they're kind of the way the game encourages you to do things right now. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird. I mentioned earlier about how playing City Skylines recently, I've been trying to do like little bits of character here and there, and that's by doing like curves and circles and weird intersections that generally don't make sense, but then you go in and you time the traffic lights and all that stuff and you kind of make them make sense. It's definitely strange. Let's do this for a little bit of added character to this neighborhood. And we'll just sort of do that a couple of times for this space to just try again. You know, we're just going to try and make it a little bit funky is what we're going to do. And then I guess here could just be something like that. Yeah, I like that. I really do. I think it just looks kind of funky. I maybe want to use a word that's not funky to describe it, but I do. I like it a lot. So we're using funky for the time being. Is what we're doing. And let's do something like this for this side where it's like got its own sort of different layout going on. So this one can come over to here and kind of go in like that. And I don't really know what that is. I don't really know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I think it looks kind of interesting, so we're going to go with it. Let's see. Let's go to here. And we'll have this one sort of look back on itself as well in a bit of a bigger way. And I guess it's just going to go in like this as well, is what it can do. And it could maybe go out on this side, but I think this side we can just do a road off of there and have it go something like that. And again, it gives us grids, it gives us sort of neighborhoods and boxes and city blocks, I guess it were, but it doesn't connect them all together. So, you know, if someone lives in here or works in here, they go in there, you know what I mean? So that'll hopefully actually turn out to be a good decision that I'm making there, not a bad one. But I guess time will tell on that one, is what it will do. So I think that works. I don't usually do small roads coming off of boulevards, so we'll do an avenue there. And I think down here is honestly going to be... You know, I was going to say we just do a normal grid, but we'll just do this again, where it kind of loops back in itself. We'll do it on this side as well, maybe? I guess like that. And then, well, maybe not quite looping back in itself, but I think that works, right? That fills up all that space really well and does exactly what I wanted it to do. So then over here, we can sort of do, I don't know, this kind of thing. Actually, that could be kind of cool where they kind of angle like that. I like that a lot, actually. That's really, really cool. Okay, that's fine by me. This road can connect to that side is what I'm thinking for this one, though. And it is also going to just look back on itself. And then this space in here, honestly, I think should just be coming off of this this avenue up here. So just something really, really simple for this this zoning in here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. We can go in here and sort of do this kind of thing. And I guess that bit could be just left open or something. I don't really know what to do with it. Maybe just bring this over, go like that and a little bit back. I guess that works. So that fills in all that space with just some weird zoning, which is totally fine by me. I don't really want to go in and do zoning on the boulevard, so we are just going to stick with residential for all of this space. And I'm hoping this will just boost the number of people living in Dorksville or whatever we called it by a good margin. Because again, that's kind of the goal. I just want to see what happens at 200,000 people. That's kind of what I'm gunning for right now. I don't really know what else there is to unlock in the game. I don't know what else is in new cities right now. So the only thing I remember is there was like a, hey, you'll unlock something at 200,000 people. And I know that the game, like education's not doing much. And I want to say it was a college. I want to say it's like a college that you unlock at 200,000 people, but I might be wrong. I genuinely don't remember. Maybe you guys do. I mean, I could just go back and watch the video that mentioned it, but if you guys remember, do let me know, and I will, you know, we're going to keep gunning towards it is what we're going to do. But just for the time being, we'll go ahead, throw all of this residential zoning into all of those different spaces, making sure to get all of the little cul-de-sacs there as well, which I think we have done. This space over here, I'm thinking what we'll do is residential in these areas for sure. But then I think some of it can 100% be commercial. So like over here, I think could be like a commercial block since it is getting a little bit closer to, I think that's City Hall down there. It's been a minute since I placed that. We'll do a little bit of commercial in there too, just to try and fill up some of that space. So a little something like that, I think will do the job. And honestly, I'm going to do something there as well. And you know what? This is an avenue, not a boulevard. So we'll do some zoning on the avenue as well. And we'll let that all build. And that should boost the population numbers pretty well. I'm also thinking that, I guess out here could just be commercial. I don't know. Or like a bit of mixed zoning or something. I don't know. I think I'm just going to bulldoze that, if I'm totally honest with you. Not really a huge fan of having some zoning right there. But yeah, this should build up. We should see some good things come of that. We're approaching 130,000 people. The factories are still building, which is beautiful. These ones up here are looking nice and dense, nice and thick, if you will, for those factories, which is probably not a way that you want to describe factories, but there you go. And I guess we should have a little look at pollution and just make sure that everything's okay. So there is a bit in there. There is a decent chunk of it right in the middle of the city. These guys are polluting pretty badly as well. I'm thinking we do need to address that. It inhibits density and land value is what it does. So hopefully we can address that, and hopefully we can fix that problem in the not too distant future. But I think for today, ladies and gents, that is going to do us. We fixed the factories. We got them working. They are going to be in here. And honestly, I have to wonder, now that we have people living up here, this area, would it actually build factories if we zoned them? That's kind of my question now. So we're going to find that out just before we wrap things up for today. Is that not close enough to people? It doesn't look like it, which is fair enough. I mean, you know, you do have this big road that you need to go out. I would imagine putting residential in here, though, would let this area build. So I think my goal is going to be to try and get that old factory space actually building a little bit. We do have some demand for agricultural, so we can deal with that in the next one as well. But I think for today, we've put a pretty good dent in getting that population up to 200,000. We got the factories working, and I mean, we still need to do services and stuff like that in these areas as well, but we're getting there. I like to think we're getting there. So thank you very much for watching. It's been my absolute pleasure as always, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.